What's up, guys? This is Young Shy here, back with another video for Diesel Claw Journalism. And what a topic that we have on today. We got Zion Williamson and pretty much the rookie watch, or how I feel Zion Williamson is going to be used as the Pelicans, and how he's going to really translate his game into superstardom, especially at a very young age. I mean, he's the first number one overall pick. He's a generational player, but also we're going to be looking at what is going to make his game even elevate, especially under the Pelican system. And not only that, what play he's really similar to and how he could become even better just due to the fact of just overall athleticism. So we're going to talk about that. But before we even get into this video, I want you guys to like and subscribe this video as much as you can. We are just starting out with the Diesel Claw Journalism, so we're definitely gonna be right back making videos the way it was. I know I've been gone for a long time, but it's back now. We're gonna be doing try to do the daily videos, and also try to do daily articles, especially for the new site that I'm on, which I will announce soon. But regardless of that, let's get into the video. So as you guys know, pretty much with Zion Williamson, he is the #1 pick of the draft from this year, and pretty much going to the Pelicans. The Pelicans was end up lucky to basically get him in the first place. It was teams like Memphis Grizzlies, Knicks, pretty much Pelicans, and other teams like the Phoenix Suns that was looking and gunning after that #1 pick for this generational talent. But Zion ended up with the Pelicans, and right after the miss of the Anthony Davis trade, which happened during the summer, which Anthony Davis goes to the Lakers, but also the Pelicans gain back a few pieces such as Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and a couple of picks as well. Not only that, adding some key add-ons as well with JJ Redick and also Derek Favors from the Utah Jazz. Now, let's see how Zion's game will translate automatically from the Pelicans as he works his way into his first NBA career start, basically getting in. And not only that, just basically playing with alongside this Pelican system. And we're going to compare him to also Julius Randle, which is, I think, is probably the most appropriate basically comparison in general because of their frame weight. Now with Julius Randle and Zion Williamson, size and basically play style is pretty much similar. I mean, Julius Randle 6'9", 250 pounds last year. Zion Williamson right now is 6'7", 285 pounds. Almost a similar play type, almost in terms of the same body type. Only thing is, the only difference is literally one of them is more athletic than the other. Both are lefties, and both can pretty much have the same play style as each other. So we're going to explore that right now as we get into this video. So the first thing that I want to point out is mostly Zion's ability to basically, or Randle's ability in general for the Pelicans and how they use him. Randle basically set up in the high post most of the time and basically received it on the catch, basically allowing him to ISO against other players, using his size and speed to basically get to the basket, and also his unorthodox lefty basically style where he can dribble the ball with his left hand and pretty much go right and left and finish through contact with awkward finishes. Regardless of not through his size, he can still finish it. And I feel like the Pelicans is going to do the same thing with Zion, basically spot him up on the right side or that right elbow, or just basically setting up in the low post, and where he can receive the ball on the catch, literally go one-on-one against that 4, against that 3, whoever he's matched up against, and literally decide to basically pound the ball inside with him and score through finishes with no problem. Now Julius Randle last season scored around 23 points last season, and especially had a high efficiency in scoring, and I could see the same thing for Zion. Now I don't know if he's going to score the same amount of points, but also keep in mind, again, same player type, more athleticism, a little weaker game in terms of his jump shot, and hopefully his jump shot does improve a little bit. But in terms of just basically how the Pelicans can use him from that high post, he can definitely put in about 12 to 14 points a game, especially inside that high post just alone. And that's not even counting out the factor of transitions or whatever. He is the perfect NBA body to basically do what he needs to do. And as I said, perfect build to Randle. Randall do the same thing and basically get his points. Why not Zion with his athletic ability or being more athletic than usual? I can see Zion doing the same thing and putting in the same number of points. Another reason that I feel like Zion is going to basically break out is him just attacking in transition. Now, you have one of the most athletic players in college basketball history in due time, especially with a whole bunch of college basketball players that do come in and create a lot of havoc, and especially going to the NBA scene. We got players example like John Wall, players like Anthony Davis that basically show off their athleticism in many ways, Derrick Rose. But Zion is, again, another generational talent that shows his athleticism and shows why he could basically go from one end to the other in very quick speeds. And there's many ways he can do this. Now, let's point out this fact as well, and this is from B-Ball Breakdown, especially shout outs to him and his YouTube channel, and shout outs just in him and basically giving all to the basketball community. I will always try to get information from him, and he's always one of the smartest basketball minds that's out there, especially in the YouTube community. So I really appreciate him just in general, just putting out videos in general. Zion literally can help this Pelican team in terms of fast break, which was in synergy stats 17.9 and transition frequency, but almost dead last in terms of efficiency, in terms of transition efficiency, which is 29th. There was 1.02 in terms of efficiency. Now, this is going to change, obviously, for the due reasons without naming Zion, is Lonzo Ball definitely being there helps out, and also is a bunch of rim runners now with Jackson Hayes, and also not only with Jackson Hayes, with Derek Favors and a whole bunch of other players that can pretty much finish now in transition, being with better wings now with Jrue Holiday, who basically stays or basically still on the team, and not only that, Brandon Ingram, who's on the team as well. So, and also not only that, Josh Hart and a few other players as well. They have a lot of players that they can basically build off of, and they can basically score in the transition without no problem. But Zion makes it even better. Zion can pretty much now finish off the catch, off the rebound, pretty much from the rebound, basically getting a tough defensive rebound, and can score and literally score by himself on a one-man fast break. He's literally one of those few players that I believe is going to score with no problem, or basically having a wall of defenders on him and can basically burrow through contact, put his head down and finish. Not only that, can finish through contact with no problem, can finish off the dribble full speed in fast breaks. And as I said, again, not a lot of players that can shoot can basically do that. It's players like Giannis, it's players like Ben Simmons that can do that. And I feel like Zion's going to fit that mold just well. With his athleticism and size, he can pretty much finish amongst the best of them and can finish in transition with no problem. Being with the ball in his hand and basically him creating it by himself, or with just basically outlet passes in general. He also has very great vision, and for his size, especially being 6'7" and basically being 285 pounds, he can literally make sharp passes inside the front court in transition. He can basically move at a speed of light to basically get the play up there and basically make passes to finishers like Ingram, to finishers like Lonzo, to finishers like Jrue Holiday. Can finish with Jackson Hayes, Derek Favors, a whole bunch of many options. Can make passes out to the three-point line to JJ Redick. It's a whole bunch of possibilities. Now, his playmaker is not the best, obviously, but is going to be improved soon enough, and I feel as though he has the ability to look through and look for passes, especially with a lot of defenses giving him attention. I feel as though that's going to open up and basically be a part of his game, especially during the middle of the season or even at the beginning of the season, depending on how the Pelicans' chemistry is with each other. Another example of how Zion can basically get inside and basically create a lot of ways of scoring is just simply bringing up the ball, being the ball initiator. Now, again, he's not going to be the true point guard of the team or anything, but he is going to have opportunities to bring up the ball and basically initiate the offense from there, start up the play. He can basically set it off how Julius Randle would do, where basically the Pelicans, who run a lot of pistol action with Jrue Holiday and Lonzo Ball, now is going to be with Lonzo Ball, can basically create handoffs, and where he basically sets up a handoff screen and basically get towards the basket easily, forcing defenders to help, especially with his size and speed, and basically get to the basket with no problem, or create mismatches and basically create post-up opportunities for him to score from that point on. Now, again, he can also basically just bring up the ball up and create ISOs for himself easily, to where he can literally just go one-on-one, be unexpected, and just basically create handoff opportunities, but also go ISO and go one-on-one against players that's possibly going to be more smaller than him in terms of size, especially playing small forward / power forward, or more slower than him in general if it's a power forward, a stretch 4, a stretch 5 that's basically playing stretch 4, basically going against him. So it's going to be a problem, definitely, and I feel as though Zion is going to basically create a lot of mishaps on where he basically can just attack right away, especially against loaded defenses, or just create in general and just basically make playmaking passes, especially with a defense built on him. He's gonna have somebody wide open for rim runs, or just in general can kick out, just drive and kick, and basically create opportunities for other teammates as well if he does elite past that game. So I feel as though with him and Randall having the same similarity and same idea, I feel like Zion can basically do the same thing as Randall in that sense. Another way the Pelicans can use Zion especially is in the post up. Now, I already mentioned that he could get a lot of opportunities on the high post, but let's not forget the low post. Zion could create a lot of mismatches, especially off of pick and rolls, like I said earlier, but also can now post up against other pretty much small power forwards or small forwards that do play that stretch 4 lineup, or if anything can play a small ball line 5, and Zion playing the 5 at that point can literally post up and gain the upper advantage against most NBA talents, especially due to his size, athleticism, and footwork. Zion is a great athletic specimen that can basically gather hop steps, can basically create off of just alone his jumping ability and also just his footwork alone, and also has great crafty moves around the basket that he can basically spin, going to his right, he can finish with both hands, can also finish through contact. And I feel as though, especially against small ball 4s and small ball 3s, depending on who is put on him, I feel like he could ultimately score and pick up baskets that way easily as well, especially going in. Now, this will also create opportunities for him to also kick out and pass to other shooters as well, as if he is having a great night, double teams is sure to become, and I'm pretty sure his vision could actually help him create passes and create opportunities for teammates as well, just like it did for Julius Randle, especially last season, where he was the initial focal point of the offense and had to create, and also had to create passes for other teammates to pretty much score. Now, the Pelicans, in terms of three-point shooting, was 24th in three-point shooting, very bad, the three-point team. But now with such additions such as JJ Redick and other people, I feel as though the Pelicans three-point shooting will be right back at top, especially with more attempts and possibly more time to basically get off shots as quick as possible, especially with JJ Redick, Josh Hart, and Brandon Ingram, who did very great jobs of basically improving their three-point percentage. Well, mostly JJ Redick is, one of the top three-point shooters in the league, but and just in general, the Lakers players that came over to the Pelicans, Josh Hart and Brandon Ingram, both has increased their three-point shooting very well. So I do see Zion creating opportunities for them and other players on his team as well. Another thing as well is his pick and roll opportunities. Now, as I said, pick and roll opportunities, again, with handoffs and everything, that's great, but also you can create off of just simple pick and roll. Now, again, causes a lot of mismatches, especially if defensive switches, if the lane is clear out for him, if he has a shooting big on top of the center spot, which I don't think is going to happen, because especially the Pelicans, the way they place their people, I don't think they have stretch 4s or stretch 5s like that. But regardless or not, Zion could create in space and basically create in the pick and roll, can create lob opportunities, can basically play the essential Blake Griffin role. Before Blake Griffin can obviously shoot, He can play that role kind of where DeAndre Jordan, aka / Jackson Hayes, or Derek Favors can become the lob man or could become the rim runner and can basically make plays off of there, just creating a pick and roll off of with Lonzo, or if not Drew Holiday. And I feel like it's gonna be more Drew Holiday in a sense, but again, Drew and Zion pick and roll can basically create a lot of havoc, especially with the athleticism and speed, the size of both players. And not only that, Zion basically controlling the middle of the floor, able can throw lobs to Jackson Hayes or Derek Favors, or throw dump off passes for finishes underneath and to finish off the play as well. And I feel like this is going to help Zion, especially in the system. And it did exactly as I said for Julius Randle, who create a lot of opportunities off of just basically getting the pick and roll, able to set up people, but not only that, able to score just through contact, using his body and strength, but not only that, able to shoot from the mid-range, and also create a little bit of post fadeaway or basically running hooks. So I feel as though Zion can definitely create that as well. And with that, that's pretty much going to be my breakdown on Zion Williams and how he's a very good rookie to watch. Especially, I mean, obviously he's the #1 pick for a reason, but you still gotta make these videos. You still gotta make sure or show why he's effective. He's going to be effective in the Pelicans offense, and is there anything else that the Pelicans can pretty much improve on to basically get him there and get him to the star player, the franchise player that he is going to be most likely in their franchise. Now, key things that we want to look out for the roster is mostly just in terms of how Zion is pretty much going to fit. Where is he going to be at? Is he most likely going to be a 4, but is they going to throw lineups where he is going to be a small ball 5? Is he going to ever be a big lineup where he plays the 3 and ever stretch out and basically, shoot? If it's not the case for him, where he doesn't shoot or he doesn't develop a shot in time, does he stay at the 4 or whatnot? But again, as you see in this NBA timeline, a lot of players that cannot really finish in traffic, aka the early Tyreek Evans, the Giannis Antetokounmpos in the world, and also Ben Simmons from the Sixers, they have all strive on basically being great playmakers and also just great players in general without even having a jump shot in general. So I feel like Zion is going to fit that mold perfectly, but it's going to be way more than I feel his generational talent. I feel like he's going to basically take and stratify the Pelicans offense a lot more than a lot of people are going to think. And also defensively as well, being a shot blocker at the 4, being athletic, and basically rotation on defense and basically switching out on smaller guards as well. Now, key thing to also look out for is the lack of shooting. I still feel as though that the lack of shooting is kind of bad. Again, only having Lonzo and a whole bunch of people that can pretty much go inside the paint, it's going to crowd the paint a lot for him. But I feel as though it's going to also help his game, and also realize that, hey, I need to hit that practice gym and work on my jump shot. Now, Zion's jump shot is probably a very, very grotesque jump shot as well. Very slow timing, can't really get it off against much NBA defenses, and I'm pretty sure a lot of NBA teams is going to be daring him to shoot. But as soon as he developed that jump shot, as soon as he fixed his problems, especially with the flick of his wrist, is not really the most precise moment at the time, I feel as though Zion will create a lot of opportunities for himself. Now, this is going to be the end of the video. I appreciate you guys telling me, and basically letting me know how you feel about Zion basically being the #1 pick, and also how you feel about him possibly going with the Pelicans. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. If you also like this video, make sure to give a thumbs up. I know I rambled on for almost about 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to lessen the video down. I just want to give you guys as much information as possible, but not only that, also give you insight on what's to come for this specimen at the #1 spot for the Pelicans. And I'm also going to be doing more rookie videos in the meantime, so be on the lookout for the next video, which is most likely going to feature Ja Morant. So you guys is going to also look out for that as well. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and also be on the lookout for my Knicks X&O podcast, which I'm going to be doing a lot recently. If you are a Knicks fan, if you really like podcasts, if you really like gaming in general, we have the podcast for you. The Knicks X&O podcast is going to be up soon. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Young Shot. I am out.